Right. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. How is everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's yours? How's your week been? What's everybody been up to? How we doing? Hello to Jim and hello to Ish. How you guys doing? Also, apologies if I don't read messages correctly. This eye blew up on Sunday and it still hasn't really recovered. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Having scrambly eggs on toast sandwich with Marmite. Interesting choice. Can't say that would be my personal preference, but fair play. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, how we doing? How's things? I'm enjoying. Wonderful. Good. That's all that matters. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, I'm not well. What's new? I know, but it's all rainy and wet as the sea outside up there. It is, yeah, yeah. I had to do a lot of going out today, and yeah, it was torrential. Like there were lakes where roads once were. You know, 137% humidity. I think it's higher than that, mate. 1,000% humidity, maybe. Jeez. Yeah, it's been mad. It's been mad for the weather up here. Um, Very mad indeed. And super good drivers on the road. Much safe, very careful. Indeed. I mean, yeah, bad. Um, in fact, actually, there was a car crash right outside my house. Again, a Mini went into the back of a Volvo because the Mini wasn't paying attention and kerplunk. So yeah, fun times. Hello ZT. How you doing, guys? How are you? How's your week been? On me? Hello, John. How you doing? How's things? I was just did I already Ah, that's tomorrow. Okay, cool. I've forgotten what videos need to go out. Just for the regulars who are here and care, I I'm gonna be you'll see a video tomorrow and a video Monday, but I'm taking obviously next Thursday because that's Christmas Day off from streaming. Friday will be also off, and Monday will be off, and then we'll resume normal service on that Thursday. Wait, on the first, on New Year's. We'll have a stream that evening, and then videos on from the second onwards. So, ba 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 ba. Cat just jumped on me, spilt my beer on my shirt. So same old, same old. Nice. Um, how's life for you, John? Haven't seen you in a little while. How about you? So I have a gastroscopy on Saturday. That's the camera down the throat one. This will be my fifth. Luckily I'm getting them to knock me out. I have the consent form, which no, I'm not going to show you. For tick the box that says knock me the fuck out. So yeah. Yeah. Practicing your gag reflex. Nice. If I was practicing, I wouldn't use something that long. I'm not gagging a snake. So yes, yeah, my esophagus is currently burning me, which is great. Another bit of my house fell apart. So I'm doing plastering tomorrow, bit of hardwall. Yeah, yeah, fun times. We all have the flu here. Lots of soup. Hope you're faring better. French onion soup. Nice. Well, I wish you a speedy recovery. Um, and yeah, you know what they say: one gastroscopy, shame on me. Two gastroscopy, shame on you. Fifth gastroscopy, well, can't get gastro again. Yeah. Well, the first one was to diagnose a duodenal stomach ulcer. The second one was to confirm that it was gone. The third and fourth were checking because I had what felt like stomach ulcer pain, but wasn't. Um, and this fifth one is to check because I'm having really bad esophageal and stomach pain, to see what the hell's going on there. So yeah, fun times. Question about jellyfin. Kind of long, complicated thing. If you can try and help, go for it. But it's what we're here for. Hello, be right. How you doing, man? How's things? I had the flu a few days ago too. I hope you're recovering well. If they have a stamp loyalty card for the 6-op, can you just graft the tube in for permanent access? Well, I mean, they do have a tube for permanent access. It's called my throat and esophagus. But yeah, I'll have them. Well, they won't actually knock me out because you have to be conscious to actually swallow it. So, but they do give you propofol so you don't remember it. So that's important. So yeah, propofol me up. Yeah. Oh yeah, should be enough people to have a status report without having to repeat a whole bunch of times. Yeah, gastroscopy Saturday. Joints all feel loose. Lungs aren't amazing. Guts feel horrible. I'm in pain. Yes. Yeah, pretty much. I love amnesic drugs. Just saying. I have done that twice now. The first two I still remember, which is a kind of horrifying experience. Or the propofol wore off halfway through. So having a camera down your throat that's, it's quite a big, it's not a little fiber optic thing. It's a chunk. And then sort of essentially waking up. So that is a unique type of hell. Wouldn't recommend it where possible. Although the other two I did awake, which I don't know if that was worse or not. I installed and sorted everything into shows and movies, figured out how to name stuff, blah blah blah, and then because everything is in its own format and with different subtitles, etc., some of the stuff has to be transcoded, not just direct play like folder diving VLC. Yeah, doesn't Jellyfin, I know that, so I use Plex primarily. I do have Jellyfin installed. I just don't use it much because I only really have Jellyfin installed because Plex breaks sometimes and I give up and try and use it, but then turns out to be a wider issue, blah, blah, blah. Point is, I know that Plex does transcoding. You can basically give it any file type and it will play it. With a bit of fuss. I thought Jellyfin was the same. So yeah. I did the transcoding through my iGPU. I decided to put spare 1063 gig in. Tried to use ChatGPT, I know, to help me enable it because Jellyfin did not detect it properly and screwed up my TrueNAS royally. It was slow through the iGPU. Oh, okay, so it will do transcode, like Jellyfin is doing transcoding as expected. It's just your 8700K's iGPU is pretty slow, and so you want to be able to transcode faster using a DGPU. Got it. So, um, TrueNAS Scale is just Linux. I can't remember if it's Debian or whatever fork it is, but it's just Linux, which means that GPU pass-through generally works better with AMD GPUs. You absolutely can do pass-through, although, okay, this is you probably want to, if you have the option, go into your BIOS and enable IOMMU, because IOMMU is what lets something like TrueNAS pass through devices like your that 1063 gig into the VM. So if you enable IOMMU, Plex will then tell you what IOMMU group the card is in, and if you can see it as a group device, that means that it's pass-throughable. Oh, you fucked with system files. Okay, that's not a good idea. I think I need to reinstall TrueNAS completely and hope that those files are not in the config backup I'll make. Fair. You can definitely because TrueNAS Scale is just what you call it, Linux. You can absolutely patch the kernel live. TrueNAS will also, in fact, let me load my TrueNAS up so I can look at the settings. Why does it never autofill? Come on. Cool. Hello Simon and hello Stanislav. How you guys doing? How's things? System update. So yeah, you can install a manual update file which should overwrite everything as long as you still have access to the web UI. If I remember rightly, which should sort of fix it itself without having to actually fully reinstall. Disabling CSM and enabling 4G encoding, which is necessary for the car to be detected, it loses sight of my legacy drives. That's interesting. When you say legacy, do you mean your hard drives? How many drives do you have connected to your motherboard? Oh, so there might be a connectivity issue with the PCIe card. Like, the PCIe card might not support above 4G decoding. I don't understand why, because the above 4G decoding shouldn't be a problem for to get the GPU to even show up. That's an odd one, because I have, do I have two GPUs in there, or do I just have the one now? I can't remember. But I have, actually, no, I can't see it from here. I have at least one GPU in there, and that is passed through. I think I tried passing it through to Olama, but I ended up passing it through to Plex instead. They're both AMD GPUs, though. Where is the? I can't remember where the device is. Virtualization. No. Plex have a. Yeah. I passed through my GPU's Plex. Um, thank you very much, DT. Greatly appreciated. And Stanislav is just chilling, seeing SSD prices slowly crawling up. Hopefully I'll get a couple before they skyrocket. Best of luck. So it loses sight of the drives on the PCIe card and the ones plugged directly into the SATA ports. Even NVMe's that are boot drives only sees my 2.5 gig NIC used for direct PC transfer, but the AS Media chip should be capable of everything. The issue currently might be that the spare motherboard I used has the first BIOS version ever, and there are 17 more BIOS revisions, so that's the first step. My god, John! Oh... No. Yes. Yes. Do that first. Like, I would have done that before I installed TrueNAS. We have very different ways of functioning, clearly. Fucking hell. Yeah. Yes, hello Simon, how you doing? Plex is both robust and fragile at the same time. That is incredibly true. That is so beautifully worded. I have not slept for 30 years. Still, his data should be safe until he eventually gets TrueNAS working again. I like that. I like that. That, like... his data's safe until he has a chance to fuck with it. Oh dear. Yes, you're right, it should be. Sleepers for the week, that's what I keep telling myself. I mean, yeah, same. It feels like I've not slept in a decade. TrueNAS and Jellyfin tentatively work now though, so if I disable Jelly, I can't enable it. I try and turn off TrueNAS machine, it gets stuck spinning down. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I have been in situations like that where I just hard shut the machine because who cares, the data's fine. So yeah. Actually, all being well, I might have another project video to do, sort of DIY project. I'm making a sort of like, sort of drop ceiling, like LED drop ceiling type thing for our bedroom, where it's a strip of wood about that tall, and thick, like it's a square of wood, gets attached to the wall right at the top, like butting up against the ceiling, and then you put an LED strip facing like out, like along the ceiling, and then you put a wider strip of wood on the bottom of the smaller one, sort of cover it so you can't actually see up into the LEDs, but they just project light across the ceiling and making the whole ceiling light up, which I'm hoping is a lot nicer than like standard ceiling lights because they really like cast a lot of harsh shadows, whereas an LED sort of ring that uses the whole white ceiling as its diffusion surface should look pretty good. So yeah, I'm hopeful that that's gonna. I've got the LEDs, a power supply, a Zigbee controller, and Zigbee relays to control it all, which might be here tomorrow. I need to do some plastering tomorrow to repair a couple of big holes in the wall first. But yeah, that's like a Sunday or Monday or Tuesday job, and I might film it and see how it goes. Don't have time to deal with it now, but we'll unplug everything when I get the time and use a spare NVMe or no drive to update the BIOS to latest non-beta. Nice. then probably backup config and reinstall TrueNAS and hope that the files are not saved somewhere in my user files, backed up in non-boot pools. AMD cards don't have NVENC, so I have a 1060 and a 1650 Super to replace it. Fair. AMD cards do have their own version of NVENC, though. They do have video encode built in, which Plex and Jellyfin, as far as I'm aware, do. Like, I know Plex supports it, and I'm sure that Jellyfin supports it as well, because up until relatively recently, running NVIDIA cards on Linux was not a thing, basically. So yeah, like AMD's video encoder engine works just fine, and it's what I use for Plex. Had a strange issue. Kensington trackball for Dad kept dying. Works fine on another system, only dies on Dad's system. Disabled USB power down, no go. Clean install Windows, no go. Got him a new Kensington trackball, exactly the same. Works fine now. No idea what's up there. Older trackballs fine on other systems. I mean, so just to clarify, are there any lights on the thing? Or is it just that it then doesn't respond to inputs? I have these. Oh, and finally replaced my 2070 non-super while I wait for the 5070 with a 3060 Ti. Surprisingly, it's faster. Nice. I mean, that's sort of like quarter of a step down, but generation up. It does make sense. I mean, I have a 4060 Ti and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, the 16 gigs of VRAM is nice for video editing. And the performance is perfectly fine for the 3 games a year that I play. It doesn't respond to inputs, to all inputs. My Kensington trackball does not have any lights. It's optical, but the laser/light is not in the visible spectrum. Yeah, it'll be IR. The reason I ask is just as a diagnostic measure, because if you can see that there is even a tiny little red LED or something on it somewhere, and that goes off, that obviously tells you it's a power issue in some form. If it's just that it's not connecting, it's not. Oh, actually, here's the other question. Do you hear? Wait, was it? So you said it kept dying. When you plug it into the system, do you get the Windows connection noise? And do you hear it disconnect? Basically, my thinking is it's a hardware issue, and it's probably just the USB pins. I bought myself an early Christmas present keyboard, but this was the nearest USB-A. Yeah, I imagine that the pins that are in the end of it, there you go, you can see them there. So it's power on the outside and then the data in the middle. I imagine that either the port that you plug it into or the cable itself on that one is maybe just a little bit loose, basically, and is disconnecting. That would be my because if it works fine on other systems, but doesn't work on, if you unplug it and replug it, it would work again for about 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, then go dead. But if it works on other systems without those issues, then you can basically rule out that it's a hardware issue from the mouse itself. I did try lots of other USB ports. It could also be a weird, USB controller bug, on your dad's PC, but then why the new one would work just fine, I don't really know. I can't, without, tearing it apart and examining it, I can't really give you much more of an explanation other than, yeah, that's pretty weird. It's definitely, I would have to guess, a hardware issue, especially if a fresh install of Windows on the same PC would still make it a problem. Yeah, and the new Kensington one works just fine. I get that's like, yeah. I think it loves my 5700X 3D more, and the gains are surprising: 10 to 30%, 20 to 25% average boost. Nice. Especially the 1% lows, even without DDU. See the pattern there with me with drivers and BIOS updates. My SAT support didn't work because it was caked in smoker residue. Try alcohol and cleaning on that USB. Nice. Stanislav, heard rumors about Intel's B770. Don't know that will present it at CES. I've not had a press briefing from Intel, so I can't tell you. I mean, I couldn't tell you anyway. I'd be under an NDA if I had, but that's my way of saying I can't even, you know, tell you I can't tell you something. You know, Ish, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's either in the NVIDIA driver or PresentMon, OCAT, or FrameView, which, by the way, OCAT and FrameView are just PresentMon, which Intel wrote with their own wrappers. So yeah, funny. And also, Stanislav, at the moment I don't have any money to get a GPU, so I'll wait that out for some time. Fair. You mean if you could tell us that you can't tell us, but you can't tell us, so you can't tell us that you can't tell us, right? Yeah, pretty much. Or is it that I can't tell you that I can't tell you because I just can't tell you that I can't tell you that I can't tell you? And if you're under NDA, but there was information known to the public, are you allowed to talk about that information before the NDA date? It is a little tricky. If you are clearly reporting on whatever has been made public through whatever sources, yes. It's generally a good idea to just stay away from that sort of reporting if you actually are under NDA and have insider knowledge. So it's a bit of a sort of, you got to say allegedly a lot, you know, like allegedly Intel's launching a B770 according to this, you know, this leak. That would be okay. But yeah, you gotta be careful. And you obviously can't add to it. You can't confirm it. You can't, like, you can report on what has been said, but you cannot add or say anything else. Thank you, Jim. There we go. I forget which side to point to sometimes. It's always fun when YouTube like introduces a new feature or whatever, like the cards, which are up there on when I'm filming regularly, but because this camera like switches it around, it's up. It would be up. No, it would be up there. Yeah, no, it's up there. And then the end cards that I put up are normally that side. But it used to be you point to the description. You could also point to the subscribe button, which is probably, I don't know, somewhere about there. Or it used to be, and now it's over here somewhere, I think. It depends on which version of the YouTube UI you get. And if you're on mobile or desktop, so. In February, I'll have been making YouTube videos for 14 years. I'm 28, I'll be 29. So, I can't do maths. Um, in August next year, I will have been doing YouTube videos for exactly half my life, which is wild. The description, where the sponsored links are, that viewers can use to give kickbacks at no cost to themselves. They can also join and subscribe. All of that is true-ish. Thank you so much. No, so we talked about this a little bit last week, but Steve from Gamers Nexus gave me and my tool, the latency tool, a wonderful like look and coverage and recommendation and usage, which is fantastic, and it means that I've like a bunch of people have come and bought tools, which is amazing. But but also the orders just keep rolling in, which is absolutely fine with me. I am obviously very happy to be making a couple quid and be like having the thing that I designed and built and soldered right here on this tiny ass heat mat. Be literally worldwide. But also it's Christmas and it's really funny and it's really difficult to actually ship stuff. So I currently have 2 orders, although funnily enough, someone ordered one tonight and then emailed me immediately saying, "Hey, please don't ship this until the 5th. We're not in." Like, okay, I'll post it on in January then. So yeah, and then I got one that needs to go, let's say, to mainland Europe, that I need to build and post. Although that one's GPS, so that should be okay. I saw the Gamers Access video, made me smile and gave your latency tool such a glowing endorsement. I know, I would, so, okay, to reiterate what I said, Steve bought both of my tools. In fact, after discussing it with him, like discussing that video with him, thanking him for his coverage, he then bought the newer version. So he has the original latency tool. He has bought the newer CS version. He didn't need to, but it says a lot about his integrity that he did. And then second, the glowing review essentially that he gave ironically means more to me because he didn't pay for them. There was no expectation that they would ever even show up in a video. I was hoping that they'd get use of them. They were talking about using latency as a metric for performance testing for a while. They used LDAT for it, but LDAT's a bit iffy. I know I have one. So yeah, I was hopeful that they would make use of it, but I was not expecting them to even show it in a video, let alone cover it in such detail. And so for them to talk about it, show it off, it means a lot, and I'm really glad that they like it and have found use with it. Oh yeah. Also, as an extra side note, when he bought the tools, I said to him, look, here's my Discord handle. Feel free to get whichever writer is going to be doing the testing with the tools. They can add me. I can talk them through. How it works. If they've got any issues or bugs or questions, I can help you through it. Just add me. I'm more than I'm at your service. they didn't bother. They just did their own research. They did their own testing. They figured it out all on their own. Like, as someone who's shipped a couple hundred of these around the world now, that's kind of rare sometimes. And it's just another one of those, like, oh, they're actually taking this seriously. Like, they care about their work. They care about, they're like putting effort in, and again, it just adds to the positive vibes. As a testament to the spirit in which you made the latency tool. It is. I mean, all of the tools, like even the ones that I haven't finished yet, like this thing, which is a peripheral tester. So, if it wasn't so bananas. So yeah, basically you've got a little load cell that goes on here. There'll be a big plate here, and this pushes down on keyboard keys or mouse buttons. You can also turn it to the side and have it move your mouse. At least that's the idea anyway. So like that, the unfinished expert response time tool with the massive photodiode is clearly, work in progress. These are all things that I built for myself. Like, I want to be able to test I wanted to be able to test response times. I was getting sick of using like 1000 FPS camera and going, well, it looks like it takes about 5 milliseconds. I wanted to be able to give you like useful numbers. I wanted to be able to look at overshoot and go, oh yeah, this is going, real bad. This looks horrible. And so I built the the original OSRCT, and then I was like, okay, well, I've got this, it works, but it's kind of shit. It's limited to a single brightness range, so I'll build something better. So I built the original Pro, and then when this became a manufacturing nightmare, I built the CS, which I don't have one here. And the same for the latency tool. Like, I wanted to be able to test latency in games like Gamers Access were doing, but also in with peripherals like keyboards and mice. Yeah, so built that, and then I improved it a bit, and because I wanted that too. And it's the same with these ones. I just want the tools, and if I want them, probably other reviewers and companies want them too. And so yeah, it's been really great. I am very proud of it. Which is funny. It feeling, you like proud of your own accomplishments is something that, let's say, has been a difficult, required a bit of therapy to work through, to get it good. But yeah, I definitely am. I'm very happy that this sort of 2 industry standard tools knocking about the place, Speaking of that, I was surprised to hear your Philips OLED has no burn-in. Yeah, I mean, I'm currently reading your comments on it. I actually did a firmware update recently because the original firmware didn't give you the like refreshes count and the hours of usage. So I was hoping that was a figure that was stored in there somewhere, and if I updated the firmware, it might tell me, but no, it reset to 0. It does now show me how many hours, but yeah, I use this monitor far too many hours every day. I don't technically torture test it in the way that Tim is torture testing his OLED or QD OLED, because I do have pixel orbiting on. I do have the screensaver, which dims the display after 3 minutes or something. My like Windows turns the screens off after 3 or 5 minutes, which for me is actually a really good thing because if I'm sat here, like if I should be doing something like writing a script or editing or whatever, and I'm sat on my phone instead, when the screens turn off, it's a very good, like very obvious reminder that hey, you should be doing something. And so I'm like, screens turn off. Oh right, and then get back to it. That kind of helps. But yeah, and I generally run at like 50%, 60% brightness. Anyway, it does the automatic refreshes every day, like the mini refreshes. I don't think I've ever done a full panel refresh, which I'm sure it should have done one automatically. But as far as I'm aware, it hasn't. But yeah, even on like mid gray, with my response time tool, UE4 window, where I can literally set any shade of gray I want, I really don't see anything, any issues with it. I have burn-in anxiety too. I mean, obviously, I am in a very sort of fortunate position. Like, I didn't pay for this monitor. Philips gave me it. I did a review separately, and then I was like, "Hey, Philips, can I please have this?" And they were like, "Okay, fine." So like, I don't have any sunk cost into owning this, and I like if it does fail, I have a lot of other monitors I can go and grab. None that are as nice as this, but yeah. So I'm definitely more, laissez-faire about it. I don't have burn-in anxiety at all, but yeah, it is quite nice for me to be able to give you this information because I'm essentially torture testing a QD OLED that I've had for over 2 years now. Well, not quite torture testing, but testing. AOC monitors are nice. They are. Philips and Evnia is AOC's like sister company. So if you see a monitor that AOC makes, Philips probably makes basically the same one too. Although Philips tends to be slightly more premium, especially because they add Ambiglow to the back. They're like RGB LEDs that project outwards. Although I don't use that because Ambiglow only really works if you don't have any other monitors around, but I have 2 other monitors that would block the majority of the Ambiglow light, so yeah. I was amazed that you use your monitor for productivity over 2 years and don't notice burn-in. Gives me hope. Yeah, I mean, like, I can't really show you well right now. I was trying to work out how I could do it, but the camera doesn't move, and I could take a picture, but it would be a picture of nothing. So, eh. But yeah, like I have, especially every time I do an OLED review, and I talk about burn-in, I always, especially while I'm writing the video, I will like load up my UE4 whole gray thing, and I check, have a look. I would show it more often in videos, but one, if there's nothing there, it's hard to, hard to see it, or it's hard to show it. And also two, if it's just a flat gray, cameras, like all the cameras that I have available to me to film this, besides the ones that are upstairs where I could manual focus it, are all also focusing. But if it's just a flat color, they really suck at doing like focusing on that, so they just rack in and out of focus constantly, which makes it even more annoying to try and film. So that's why you don't see that in the videos, but I do check every time. I'm just like, oh, see, let's see. But yeah, no, the, the PC turns on at, I don't know, 9:30, and turns off at 1 a.m. There is, a couple hours of like uh, time with dinner and my wife. You know, I'm upstairs filming stuff for a couple hours. I'm like, it's not on the whole time, but yeah, yeah. I use it a lot of the day, every day. Also, dark mode, all the things that recommended. Also, I watched Tim's torture test, like torture test video, and I think one of the other things is that like what I tend to have on my screen tends to be very like consistent, so I don't have two windows that sit side by side permanently on it, especially because it's an ultra wide. So yeah, that helps for sure. Dark mode only for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I would do regardless. In fact, that's something I do regardless of if it's an OLED or not. Like, dark mode, all the things. But yeah. I don't like Ambiglow. Same with YouTube videos and browser. Fair. A screenshot would not have the monitor glow or burn-in either. Yeah. I was most surprised by the static start bar at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, like, I've always used small icons, which probably helps. But yeah, no, there's, as far as I can tell anyway, it's all good. Yeah, there's, like, the funny thing about, me saying, oh, well, I use my, like, full screen gray application to check, is that is creating the worst case scenario for how you might notice it, because in day-to-day life, even if your taskbar was burned in, the taskbar is still there. It's just burning in what you can already see, so it doesn't matter anyway. But it's not. But yeah, if you had like legitimately the same two windows, the same like everything, and it was on full stop, whatever, yeah, you might have some more burning than I do. But if you use it sensibly, no problem. No worries, DT. Have a great Christmas. Hope to see you in the new year on the 1st. Thank you very much, DT. I mean, that goes for all of you. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. This isn't me signing off or anything, I'm just, Actually, what's everybody's plans for Christmas? Because, I'm seeing in-laws. Doesn't Tim from Harbour and Box have a project where he's been intentionally burning in an OLED for a year? Yes, that's what we've been talking about. Yeah. In-laws, fair. Parents, fair. Sorry, John. Yeah. My wife isn't off work for very long, so we're driving like midday Christmas Eve or something. And then back like Boxing Day. I can't remember. We're only down for a couple of days. Mum will arrive to visit me this weekend for a vacation. We got traveling plans. Nice. Very nice. Actually, that's a lie. I've been at the Keep, just spaced out for a moment. That's the same, right? Pretty much, yeah. Your brain AFK'd, even if your body didn't. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's always a whistle-stop tour for us when we go down. Seeing our family. Then whisk back up. And then it's my birthday. 2 weeks later. Which, by the way, terrible time to have a birthday. Because, you know, if you have a birthday in even February, or later, you know, February to sort of November, you know, you're all good. If you have a birthday in December or January, you get one gift. Whereas you very much get to, if they're separated enough. A real close friend has a birthday on Sunday, and littlest brother on the 29th. Oh, per them. I think the other funny thing about, like, I generally have a few friends up, and you know, we go do an escape room or go karting or something, and then we'll you know, have dinner somewhere. Except a lot of the restaurants that are like the really good restaurants around us close over the Christmas period and don't reopen normally until just after my birthday. Actually, that's a good point. I should check if the restaurant that we like going to is open, or will reopen. I'm setting a reminder to myself to check because I will forget, and well, no worries, John. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Have fun. Stay safe. Hope you get everything you asked Santa for. I'll probably get an IPS monitor again. Fair enough. Like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with an IPS monitor. OLEDs are better. Maybe they won't last quite as long, but they are better. I've one of the monitor reviews that I guess you won't see until 2026 now, is an IPS fast IPS panel, and I think I opened the video by saying, "My God, I've been spoiled by OLEDs because this just looks so flat and like lacking contrast and sort of dull by comparison." Which is really funny, but because it is an otherwise really good monitor. But yeah, as long as you haven't experienced too many OLEDs, you'll be fine. Hope Santa will get me some hardware presents. Hello Simon, how you doing, man? How's things? Finally got internet back after a 4-day blackout. Yay, VM business. Now I have 5G failover installed. More money. How's things? Wonderful. Sounds great. I wouldn't trust Virgin Media as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw them very far. So yeah, Glad you're back online at least. How's things? Okay. I have a gastroscopy on Saturday. My guts are fucked. And you know, Christmas busy. I gotta plaster 2 walls tomorrow. Um, yeah, fun stuff. Um, besides the internet, how you doing? And what's your plans for Christmas? Oh, there's the. Um, I mentioned the OSRTC expert. That was building. This is one of the test PCBs that I had made with a smaller photodiode. Come on, Thor Labs photodiode. Thank you very much, Ish. I hope you have a wonderful week and Christmas. Yeah, I'll see you next. See you next year. VM customer service was terrible. They replaced the router and installed a new fiber line then learn that it was an infrastructure issue. I hate plastering, just family stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, especially like with really big companies like that, like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and they don't really care either. So, yeah, they it, it can be a really frustrating and annoying experience to deal with for sure. Philip's monitor gave me hope. Nice. Are you on our Discord and stuff? Just because if it is, I'll boot up Unreal Engine again after the stream and try and take some pictures of what may or may not be there. Probably not. You can post them in general or something, if you care to see. I think one of the reasons that I like Zen so much is that it is a smaller ISP, and so like when you call up, you're calling, uh, you know, smaller. Like you're calling someone in the UK for starters, and you know, you're a bit more of a person to them, not just you know, an account number. So yeah. Uh, 300 meg 5G load balancing with the VM line into my mesh network. Fair. And okie doke kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll stick a couple pictures in general after the stream. I hate plastering. So do I, but it's that or like 500 quid. So, and hello Luca, how you doing, man? How's things? Just in time. We have like 3 or 4 minutes left. How you doing? What's your Christmas plans? What you got going on? Stance is getting me new back. I missed that one from John. I think the latency on YouTube chat is also pretty slow as well, and wonderful. I see. Yeah, I will stick them in general, and you can have a look at what may or may not be there. Does anyone know, can you mix 2 different brands of Ethernet power line adapters? I have never tried. I suspect that they need to be paired together. There may be a pairing procedure you might be able to find. But I don't know. I think you'd be breaking new ground there, at least for me. So, run up to Christmas has been a nightmare. Work kit breaking down, no internet, and my car costing me more money for service, tires, and brakes. I mean, ouch. I hear you on the like run up to Christmas has been a nightmare. Although it's actually like I finished my required work. I've done 2 videos this week already. I finished them yesterday, so I've spent today getting stuff ready for plastering, having my face exploded, and then doing a bit of sort of skim coat plastering. So yeah. Carrot Snake, hello, welcome. Somewhat unfortunately, we're almost at our usual hour, so I'm gonna be letting you get back to bed, if I put that politely, somewhat shortly. But it's good to have you. Thank you for joining in, for popping by. Have fun getting messy. Yeah. Well, I'm doing a bit of hardwall tomorrow, and then let it set for, I don't know, a bit, and then do a bit of. I would do, you know, skim coat, but it's actually just going to be like fill and repair skim coat, you know, super thin, just to level it out, make it nice, because we're just sticking wallpaper on top, so who cares the final finish is. But there's just got to be some sustenance there, some structure to put the paper on. It's not just bare brick. So yeah, hopefully it goes well. I bought some extra time sachets from Travis Perkins, and I have a trade account there because why not? Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. I hope you all stay safe. I hope Santa brings you all the toys you're looking for. And yeah, like I said, videos tomorrow and Monday, but not next Friday or next Monday. So we'll be back on the 1st for a stream, and then back to normal scheduled videos on the 2nd. So yeah, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a wonderful time, and oh yeah, we'll see you on New Year's Day. Right. Toodaloo. Have fun.